Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 6. So we are now, I think from when this video will go out, hopefully I upload it as soon as possible. If I don't, it might not be this exact amount of time, but if it goes out when I think it will be exactly 3 weeks away from The Flash being back and hitting our screens, with us of course getting, new promo material, over the past couple of weeks, such as like a new poster, new promo trailer was released last week. And even I think yesterday from when this video goes out, hopefully we got some new promo images. So who knows if we'll get anything more this week. I would be expecting that next week, but you never know. We could be surprised. I wasn't expecting promo images yesterday, so yeah, might be surprised. But in this video, we're going to be going over some stuff that has showed up on the usual suspect, that being 4chan. Now, this was posted a couple of days ago, if not a few days ago. I think it was Saturday or Sunday. Now, I was just sent the stuff from a subscriber. They did screenshot the top of the thread, as you can see on screen right now. Some of the writing, actually, I think about half of the writing was maybe cut off. I'm not too sure, because I'm just going off what they copied and pasted me. But they did copy and paste me all the text that was there, so there's no worries there. We're not like assuming what the rest of it all said. We have everything that was written down. Now, obviously, take this with a grain of salt, of course, because sometimes you get legitimate leaks that are like pretty much right for the most part, or like 95% correct. But then you get some that are basically pulled out of people's asses, probably made by those same like Instagram, DCTV accounts that just make stuff up. But it's basically a flip of the coin. You don't know. You can usually tell from what's said though, and I think, from reading through them all before making this video, they all seem like very likely. So yeah, just go into this video thinking that, if that is English. But of course, throughout the video, be sure to leave all of your various thoughts and opinions on these things. Which one gets you most excited? Which ones don't sound real? Which ones sound real? The general stuff. Just leave all your opinions down there in the comments. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video and all that, want to drop a like on the video to show support and excitement for The Flash. But yeah, I'm pretty much just going to read out everything that was in the original post on the thread and just give thoughts on all of them when relevant. So, some of it is like sort of known, like parts of them are sort of known. So yeah, let's just jump into it all. So they started off the thread by writing, "Have friend in pre-production crew for The Flash, Supergirl, and Supernatural. We'll get and give out some Supergirl details if people want it. Let me know." Now, I wasn't on the thread. I don't know if people were asking for Supergirl stuff, so I have no idea there. So I guess if you want Supergirl stuff, there might be stuff there now. Not too sure. But they did put down here that COIE equals Crisis on Infinite Earth, so I'm guessing that was just so they didn't have to write it so many times. I'm guessing that's why they did that. But they started off by writing, "The Flash is up to 6 eps of filming done now, ep 7 a few days in," which, yeah, I think would be right. We already knew that they were filming episode 7. We already went over some set photos, which were the ones where you had like Barry as the Flash and blood work and stuff. So that was already known. Maybe at the time they wrote all this up, it wasn't known. Not too sure. Let's move on. They wrote season 66, I'm pretty sure that's mentioned right, S6, so season 6, starts 10 seconds after season 5, but pretty much time jumps immediately after that. So we knew that season 6 starts like, 5 to 10 seconds or something after season 5. We already knew that, that's already known information, but the whole time jumping, that's new. I guess that sounds realistic because usually you do get a time jump. Like last season we didn't, but that's because they had to play off the whole, when Nora shows up. I don't know, I'd believe a time jump. I guess it just matters what Arrow's doing. But I'd believe a time jump. I'm not going to deny that. I'd believe it, but I don't know if they'll necessarily go with that. But we'll have to wait and see. The new suit is from the future, like last season, but in its own ring. So that has been a question that a lot of people have been wondering since, we got the news that there'd be a new suit. Is where's the source of the suit? Did Cisco make the new suit, or is it from another ring? Now, if you remember back to last season, when Nora goes into like the time vault before coming back to present day, there's like heaps of rings there. She doesn't even get the most the most recent ring. Like she gets a ring that was like maybe like 2 or 3 suits behind the last one that Barry would have used. So maybe Nora brought back another ring. Maybe that's like a parting gift that she had, and maybe she kept it in the time vault or something for Barry to use. Who knows? We know that Barry does take on Godspeed in episode 1 in the season 5 suit. So maybe Godspeed? I don't know. Weird theory. Maybe Godspeed has the suit. Who knows what's going on there? We'll have to wait and see. It wouldn't surprise me if it's from the future because it's pretty much the same design as the season 5 suit, just with a different cowl thing. So yeah. Next up, they wrote, new suit has am I right? Yeah, new suit has a change from what was seen in the first look that appeared online. It is hanging out in the image it will be tucked in. So okay, so I think they're talking exactly about the thing I was talking about yesterday, where the suit changes in episode 6, where like at the front of the suit in the episode 1 stuff we've gotten so far, which was the same in those promo images from yesterday, as well as stuff we'd seen before, like the front of the cowl is like hanging out. It looks weird, and now it's like tucked in. So it's either a different cowl or they've just tucked it in. So yeah, I guess that's what they're saying there. Outside of Barry, Cisco, and Ralph... outside of Barry, Cisco and Ralph have the best side stories in the early parts of the season. Now, I guess that's interesting for Cisco's part, because we heard Ralph has a decent story going on, but with Cisco, that's pretty interesting that they chuck him in there, because he's sort of been, I guess, one of the talking points, whether, what they're going to do with his story, whether it's going to be, interesting enough to follow just because of what they did with him last season. So I guess getting that, obviously we're weighing out whether these are real or not, but getting that stuff is, I guess, sort of interesting, and I guess, a bit calming, because we don't have to worry so much about Cisco's story. But they do say the early parts of the season, but that makes sense, because if they're just getting it from info from someone that's on set, they're only up to episode 7 now, so that's still the early parts. Next up, they write, Iris' story is very prominent, but rushed due to the upcoming COIE, so Crisis on Infinite Earths. Seems like not doing much with it in previous seasons will affect it this season. So we'd heard that, pretty much, Eric Wallace, the showrunner, has said that pretty much they hit the ground running with a lot of storylines, including Iris's. And I'm not surprised to be very prominent, because really they have to get it up and running, and pretty much to the point where people know what the Central City Citizen is by Crisis. So I do agree with that. I think everyone with eyes and a brain, or at least a functioning brain, knows that Iris' story should have, been, the journalism stuff should have taken, a decent stance in seasons 3 and 4, and even season 5. There wasn't really much development until the back half of it. So I guess maybe the lack of focus on it in previous seasons will affect it this season. So this doesn't surprise me too much, especially if they're going to rush it. Or rushed it according to this, so that doesn't surprise me too much, but we'll have to wait and see, I guess. Caitlin's stuff in early season 6 is more connected to blood work, and then in brackets they put villain for first 8 episodes. There is still growth with her relationship with Killer Frost. So I'm guessing they mean by this that Caitlin really doesn't have too much of a story, at least too much of a focus on a story early on in season 6. It's more just about, because she's the one that knew blood work, or Dr. Ramsey Rosso, or Rosso, however you want to pronounce it. So I'm guessing that's what they mean by that. We already knew that there was going to be some stuff going on with her and Killer Frost, where Killer Frost takes more of a stage, if that's the best way to use. She has more screen time, Killer Frost. But I think by this they mean there's not much of a story going on outside of that. Next up, we have Joe West isn't as prominent as previous seasons, but Cecile is more prominent, so there is that. That's what they wrote. We sort of heard that as well with Joe, because he's the new captain, that he won't be involved in Star Labs as much. And with Cecile, I think we heard that as well, where they said her powers are going to be, she's going to go on a journey with her powers or something along those lines. So I think some of that was known, or at least most of it. So yeah. Now this is a big one. Michele Harrison will be playing Joan Garrick from Earth-3 in episode 2. So for those that don't know, we'll need a reminder. Michele Harrison is the actress that plays Nora Allen, Barry's mother. So in the episode, in that promo we got last week, that was actually a trailer that included footage from both episode 1 and episode 2. Maybe episode 3 as well, but just probably most likely episode 1 and episode 2. And we do see a version of that, and we're wondering who is that, because it doesn't, Nora Allen's dead, so who's that? And we do see the Jay Garrick helmet. So that would make sense, I guess, if that is Joan Garrick. Even it might not even be from Earth-3. They're saying it's from Earth-3, but, a lot of the other theories had it was maybe it's a Jay Garrick from Earth whatever. But that Jay Garrick might be dead, and this is the wife of that Jay Garrick that has the helmet left over, and that's using it with Barry. So they're saying it's from Earth-3, but this lines up with a lot of people's theories, so yeah. Next up, we have Bloodwork is scaled back compared to the comic book counterpart. There is a CGI version the character takes on though, but it is limited. So, for those that don't know, Bloodwork pretty much, when using his powers in any form, is pretty much a different, not just a human character. There would be some sort of prosthetics or CGI required. So I think they're going to be a bit loose with that adaptation of him. But I was wondering if we were going to get some sort of CGI version. They're saying we will. So it'd be interesting to see how good it looks, because it could look pretty bad, to be completely honest. This one's interesting, especially for me. New version of Harrison Wells has an Australian accent and is an explorer, Indiana Jones type. So that last bit we sort of got a hint at from those set photos we got, but the Australian accent bit is interesting. Hopefully it's done well, because a couple of the Australian accents we've had on the Arrowverse and just DC TV shows in general hasn't been the best. You know, a bit offensive. Yeah, so hopefully Tom Cavanagh does a decent one. Paddy Spivot is referenced in episode 6 by Barry Allen a couple of times. So episode 6 is the one where they go to Midway City for what looks like the majority of the episode, maybe. So that's not too surprising. For those that don't know, that's where Midway City is where Paddy Spivot went to do like the criminology school, like the CSI school. So maybe Barry just goes, oh, this is where Paddy is, and maybe references her maybe a handful of other times. I don't know, but that's not too surprising based off the setting of the episode. They've got Nora Allen, then in brackets kid, so obviously like Barry and Iris's daughter, is not in this season. Friend has told me that that from he, I think it's meant to say from what he understands, but it says from he understands is that the new showrunner isn't the biggest fan of the Nora character, so it seems it would be very surprising if she were to be brought back in any major way. Now, there's been like no real signs of Nora being back. There's, once again, I referenced those Instagram accounts. There's people were going with this fake fact that Nora had been confirmed for Crisis, and then that Nora was in actually episode 6, and then they were revisiting Barry and Iris's wedding. That's not true. So there's no Nora in this season as of yet. So I don't know if we'll ever see her back, but they're saying that apparently Eric Wallace, the new showrunner, doesn't like her. So like the character at least. So I have to wait and see, I guess. And I guess she did get erased from the timeline, so it's not as easy to bring her back as some other characters. They've gone on to say rumor going around about a new Wally suit. My friend doesn't really know much about that. He knows Wally is back in the back half, but a new suit hasn't been spoken about around him or people he knows. I didn't know about a new Wally suit rumor. I don't know if anyone else did. If you knew about it, let me know in the comment section down below. I hadn't heard about it, so this is completely new to me. But yeah, I don't have any ground to talk on about that apart from the fact that it says that Wally's back in the back half, which isn't too surprising. And then the final thing that's said here is, final thing I was told, Bloodwork is directly connected to the back half villain. He is vital to the setup. Now, this is the one that made me go, okay, because we knew that Bloodwork was like pretty connected to Barry's journey in that first half, which leads to Crisis, but that's sort of where, I guess, his importance, stopped. But they're saying here that he's directly connected to the back half villain, and if you think about, I can only think of one villain it could be, which is maybe Red Death. And you might be going, oh, Pagey, that's a typical one. It's like, it's the only one I can think of. You know, if you're going to make him the back half villain, where you're going to have like, 12 or 13 episodes dedicated to that storyline, it'd have to be Red Death. I don't know how Bloodwork could be connected to anything else, unless it's something weird, like some Cobalt Blue stuff because of like DNA and lineage and stuff like that. I don't know, but Bloodwork's the only character I can think of that would be connected to that. I'm not going to spend too much time on that because I can't really think of anything off the top of my head, but if you have any ideas as to who Bloodwork could be connected to in regards to a back half villain, let me know. But yeah, guys, that's basically it. So if you enjoyed the video, it would be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support. Let me know in the comments section down below your various opinions on what we went over. Which of these rumors or leaks get you excited? Which one makes you go, ooh, that doesn't sound too true? Which one just gets you thinking in general, like the Bloodwork villain connection? Just let me know all of those opinions and thoughts in the comments section down below. And if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.